poised. They're going to have played lots of games together, and that's a concern because I don't care how talented you are, experience matters, and they're outstanding. They're a very good team. They've got everything you need. They've got a quickness at the point guard that creates and makes a lot of things happen. They got big inside, and then they got three-point shooters. And I think they play their conference tournament where we're going to play. I'm not positive of that, but it seems like that's where they play it now.
Yeah, Kim, what was the most pleasing thing about the exhibitions? Was it the attention to focus and the intensity? Like nobody really let up. And the people you put on the floor, all of them, was attention to detail. I mean, there was no.
Well, the purpose of exhibitions are a lot of things. One, I still have a soft place in my heart for people who need the guarantee money for their budgets. That's the first thing. The second thing is turning the lights on and simulating a game situation with not as much stress involved, where to allow me to look at different lineups. And that's what we did, and that's what we've done.
Hey, Coach, what did you like about the lineup that started last night's game against Loyola?
I thought the energy, I thought sharing the basketball. We obviously shot it really good. I thought on the defensive end with that group, we're going to keep working. We're going to keep working. But you look at that group that started, you have two returning starters, a freshman, and two transfers. So we're not going to all be on the same page right now. They're not going to all be on the same page. But the more they can play together, the better they'll become. Offensively, what did we score? 42 points in the first quarter. So that's not a secret. I've told you we can score the basketball at a lot of positions, but there's more to the game because you're going to play good teams that can guard you. And so looking at those five that started the game, I saw a lot of good things on the offensive end and things that we've just got to continue to improve on the defensive end.
What do you want? What do you want for tonight, and what are you most proud of with the documentary that's coming out?
Oh, yeah. When you say tonight, you caught me off guard. I thought we don't play tonight. Um, y'all haven't seen it, right? You need to see it. I'm most proud that LSU produced it and the young people in that locker room that were with us from start to finish. I'm not one to allow cameras in the locker room. Even when it was required by the NCAA, it just makes me very. I think a locker room is a sacred place, and when you bring cameras in there, I think you see people who fake it and say things that aren't real. I can't do that, so I trusted LSU and the people that have been with us to do a real job with it, not knowing that we were going to win the national championship, but they produce things every week, and they're never going to put you in a situation where you can't be who you are as a coach for fear of them putting it out there for the public to misinterpret. Because things, guys, are said in the locker room for just the team and the coaches. And sometimes, as you well know, when you put it out there in a public setting, everybody has an opinion. That's what I'm most proud of, is how professional they were and job well done. I saw it for the first time a week ago to just approve it or see if I noticed anything that needed to be added or taken away, and I was just blown away. I teared up, actually, because I don't even go back and watch the games. Once a season is over, I don't go back and watch games. It's done. I don't want to rehash it. I lived it, and that was the first time we've ever really had something like that in my career. And it's inside a locker room, and then you watch it play out on the court, and you watch the players that are speaking in the documentary. It's really good. I would suggest that if you don't have time tonight to watch it at 8 o'clock, spend a little money and watch it because it's good.
Kim, obviously you've been through this experience before, coming off a national championship and trying to, build a team again and all this. But this time, you have celebrities on your team. You have millionaires on your team, Is it different now, and how have they responded? Has the response been what you wanted, and how do you need to approach this team, building this up to this season, if anything has been different?
Nothing in the coaching aspect or in that locker room is any different. It's just not. What is different is the outside noise and the outside world that we live in, with divulging how much money they make with NIL, seeing them on TV. That is different. For me as a coach, the good thing is I have no idea what's tweeted and all that unless people send it to me. And if it's something sent to me, it's usually, Coach, you might want to say something to them because this is a little bit on the vulgar side, or this doesn't represent your program in a good light. And then I will view it and get people who know about social media to tell me what exactly does that mean right there, because I don't know. And so that's the only difference. Inside that locker room, nothing is different. We coach just as hard. You don't see kids fighting over who makes more money. I don't even know that they know who deals are done with. They know that coach is going to take care of them with the collective that is the LSU NIL, because all of them are going to be treated the same from me. But anything on the outside that they get with NIL deals, I don't really know about unless somebody sends it to me. But coaching is coaching. Competitors are competitors. They don't go in that locker room and think because they make money or they're celebrities that they're just going to walk out on that floor and win a basketball game. They do know that when you're preseason ranked #1, they do know that when you are defending national champion, that comes with a lot of expectations, and it comes with a target on you. And we're not going to go undefeated, guys. Colorado is more poised than us right now. Colorado is playing LSU at the right time. I really believe that, because they're that good. They're that good. We're still trying to move people in and out. I'm still trying to figure out who our defensive stoppers are. Colorado doesn't have that issue right now. When you have 7 of 8 returning players, it's running a lot smoother in November than LSU is.
Hey, Coach, a two-part question here. Last night's starting 5, is that the official unit? And the second question is, how close or far off are y'all conditioning-wise?
Well, let me answer the second part. We're not in condition. We're not in great condition, nor do I expect us to be in November. I could have a different starting 5 depending on who we play. That may be the starting 5 for Colorado based on matchups. Which 5 gives us the best matchups on the defensive end of the floor. And then we could play the next game, and I could have Samaya in there with Angel. I could have a different wing player. But that more than likely will be the matchup for the Colorado game, unless something happens, and that is strictly based upon the defensive end of the floor right now.
I got a couple. You at all worried about the celebrity of this team being in Vegas?
I'm more worried about security being in Vegas, with them being so well known, and we'll take care of that. LSU will provide security with us. I'm not worrying about them being distracted. We will have times and places when they can enjoy Vegas, but it's a business trip, and they know that. I haven't even asked them. Surely all of them have probably been to Vegas in their life, but you've got a lot that can't even gamble. They're not old enough. So it's a business trip, and we'll mix a little pleasure in there. I know I've been around young people a long time. I used to go, when we take teams to Vegas, you want to take them to a show. They don't want to do that anymore. What do they want? Free time and give me my per diem. So that's new for me. We used to all go to a show. Well, I don't like this one. I want to go to this show, but I like this show. So what you do is you just give them their per diem, let them enjoy their free time, but make sure you have security where they're safe.
What did you like about, I guess let's call it the five that you had yesterday? What did you like about them as far as sharing and kind of?
What I liked is it was a better start than the previous exhibition, but it was a different group starting. So I liked the way we started. I liked the way we shared the ball. I liked the energy from all of them, and they kind of fed off of each other. I still think throughout the course of the game, and some of those did, coasted. You know, they realized the score was what it was, and I want them to understand you're not going to coast come Monday. It is going to be a very, very hard-fought basketball game Monday.
Got time for a couple more here in person.
Yeah, Coach. Haley looked like she got going or was more aggressive in the second half yesterday. Just how have you kind of gone about, balancing her with point guard scoring and just how she approaches it?
Haley is just, she's a little basketball junkie. She picks up on things quickly. She hasn't been a true point guard in her college career. She's been a kid that has taken abundance of shots because she needs to. We're not going to take her scoring away from her. She just needs to be more our primary ball handler and know what's going on. She needs to be the coach on the floor for us right now. Now, I think Kateri Poole can handle the point for us. Poa handled the point some last year, but I have found that Poa really enjoys the off guard more because it takes a little bit of pressure off your shoulders. And I'm always for kids who relax more and can play and we can see their best basketball. But I think Haley has embraced playing point guard. She came here to want to learn the point guard position, but make no bones about it. We're not taking her to the point and all of a sudden lose the points that she's capable of scoring.
Is it similar at all to Alexis last year?
It's similar to Alexis. It's similar to Odyssey Sims. It's similar to a lot of them that have played, that could and have played the off guard a lot. But now I need them to really focus on the point guard position. But I'm also not taking Haley off the wing either. If Kateri's in the game or Poa's in the game, I can move her to the wing. A lot of it, again, depends on foul trouble. It depends on fatigue. It depends on who's in the game for the opposing team. So I've got a lot of moving parts that I can, move around.
Hey, Coach. You had a lot of nice things that have happened to you since you won the national championship. Is this game a byproduct of winning the championship?
No, I think we get hit up all the time with people who want us to match up with certain people. That happens all the time. People love to talk about our non-conference schedule. At what point does that stop? At what point does it stop? We won a national championship. Coaches know what they're doing. We're not doing a schedule because you want to see certain matchups. We're doing a schedule because we know our teams better than anybody. And sometimes you overschedule. Sometimes you underschedule. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect you. You're trying to get better, and the last 6 games, if you make it that far, are what you're playing for. And a top 20 team right out of the gate is going to be a tremendous challenge for us. It is.
I was going to follow up just to how early you remember introducing the schedule to your team to kind of give them that target to shoot for in November.
We don't give them the schedule until the first team meeting in August. So our first team meeting, it was in their notebook. The times were not there. The SEC times were not even there. But I can't think of any time we've ever really given it to them in the summer or anything like that. When a target, it's the week you play. It's the week you play. Obviously, with the 2 exhibitions, I don't do scouting reports. I don't do detailed work on exhibitions. They don't matter. We tear that stat sheet up and we throw it in the trash. So along the way during that week before you play your first opponent, whether it's Colorado or who, you're working on that team without our team even knowing. So we've done some things all week in preparation, and then we start doing our scouting report. We did our scouting report Tuesday. And so we'll get back in the film room today and just keep building, and we'll practice here all the way through Saturday and leave Saturday afternoon for Vegas. practice there on Sunday and play on Monday.
We'll go to Zoom for any questions.
Hey, Coach. My name is Brian Howell. I cover Colorado for the Boulder Daily Camera, and I have a couple questions for you. You mentioned, obviously facing a top 20 team is a challenge right out of the gates. What are the pros and cons? Because a lot of teams will kind of ease into the season a little bit with some maybe some easier games. What are the pros and cons to a top 20 matchup?
Well, I would like to have eased into it, but it was an opportunity to challenge us early, humble us early, and it's not something that is going to devastate us if we lose. It's going to teach us. It's going to make the new ones understand. And when I say new ones, I'm not just talking about the freshmen that will play a lot of minutes. I'm talking about the new roles that some of our players, returning players, will have to play. And I don't know that there's really a con to it other than the fact you could lose the game. But you pick yourself back up and you get right back to work and you improve. So the pros may be if you're not supposed to win the game and you're the underdog and you do, it could really jump start and give you a lot of confidence if you look at it that way. But for us, I don't look at it as a pro or con. I just look at it as it was an opportunity right out of the gates to play a very good team, to keep us hungry, keep us humble, and make us better, win or lose.
Yeah, and then I imagine that you watched Colorado when you were scouting Iowa last year, because Iowa played them obviously in the Sweet 16. Was there anything that jumped out at you about watching them back then, or even as you've prepared for this one, as far as their style?
I didn't watch the Colorado Iowa game as much as I watched the Duke game, the game prior to the Iowa game. What jumped out is exactly what would jump out: outstanding team, very well coached. They run a Princeton offense that just gives teams fits. They have post play. They have the perimeter three ball. They have a guard that's going to push it in transition. They're mainly a man-to-man team, but what jumped out in the Duke game is I think their zone gave Duke fits. And so we have to prepare for their zone. We have to prepare for what they like to do in their man-to-man. But I watched more of the Duke game than I did the Iowa game last year.
And then last question for you. They added Maddie Nolan as a transfer this year, a girl that you played in the tournament last year, and also Sarah Rose Smith, who you play in the SEC last year. Do you remember those players at all? And
I do. I remember Nolan for sure because she played for Michigan when they came here, and what great additions to their team. But they're good even if they hadn't added those players. But they bring experience and they bring knowledge, and there's no substitute. It's amazing how many older players are on that team, and they sure, I guess you could look at it this way: they better get out and recruit because they sure have a bunch of them, because they're going to have to replace a bunch of them. But man, they're good. They're good, and much respect. I don't know the coach for Colorado, so watching her from afar, what a tremendous job she has done there. My days dealing with Colorado will go back to the Seal Berry days when she was their coach and how good they were back then.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.